After an unforgettable night, the Laureus Awards draws to a close here in the glamorous city of Madrid. We've seen some of the world's biggest sports stars come out in full force on the red carpet, from World Cup winners to Olympic champions. Well, to talk us through some of those winners, we've got our sports correspondent, Lance Santos, and you had a pretty special interview, didn't you, for Sportsman of the Year award?
Yeah, Mondo Duplantis, what a guy. It's bizarre, not bizarre, it's almost, well, for him, it's almost surreal to see his name among some of the greats. You know, you would never think a pole vaulter would be alongside the same red carpet as Novak Djokovic, Rafa Nadal, Luka Modric, those kind of players. But that is how good he's been. He's shattered world records for fun. He's in the same category as Carlos Alcaraz, and he's come out on top. And he's just a general all-round good guy, very stylish as well. Also helped me to fix a bow tie a little earlier.
I saw that, it looked good.
Yeah, you've got to take style tips where you can get them. But generally an all-round great guy, and he's beaten Carlos Alcaraz to Best Sportsman of the Year. And yeah, we caught up with him moments ago. Well, we're here with the Sportsman of the Year award, and you've just fixed my bow tie because you're the most stylish athlete in sport too, right?
I don't know. You said it, so I didn't have to say it, so I appreciate that. I'll take that. One more award I'll take home.
Listen,
Yeah.
It's been some year for you, hasn't it? It's been an incredible year after that wonderful Olympic Games. Did you ever think, growing up, training as a pole vaulter, you'd be here on the Laureus Awards, winning Big Sportsman of the Year alongside some of the greatest athletes that have ever walked the face of the earth?
Not really. I think I always had the belief in myself, and I always believed that I could be the best pole vaulter in the world, the greatest ever, and break the world record, Olympics, all that kind of stuff. But I think this is kind of an added bonus to be here, Laureus Awards, kind of edge my name amongst the greatest athletes to ever live. The list of the past winners of this award is pretty crazy. It's kind of weird to see my name there.
What I love about you is you always say, I can go higher, I can go for more, I can do better. You're not done by a long shot, are you?
I don't think so, no. No, I think there's a lot more. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep going after it and trying to get higher like I always do, so yeah.
So a really special interview there with Duplantis, but it wasn't just him. There's so many other athletes here tonight, and we were discussing this yesterday, how competitive the Sportswoman of the Year award really is. So could you talk us through who won that event?
Well, yeah, a lot of us thought it would be Aryna Sabalenka, given how she won those two titles, didn't drop a single set in Melbourne, but actually it went to Simone Biles. It's an Olympic year, of course, the one before, and because of that, we expect a few more Olympic awards, don't we? But it was what Simone Biles has done, not just in the arena, you know, what she's come back from, her mental health. She called the Paris Olympic Games her redemption tour, and boy was it that. She stunned us all with some, you know, gravity-defying moves, and she's just an incredible athlete, an incredible woman, the most decorated gymnast of all time, and a deserved winner for Sportswoman of the Year, but it was a tough category, yep.
I love that redemption tour, and it really, really was when we saw her at the Paris Olympics, and it was just incredible to see her win that gold after overcoming so much. But the next category, of course, is the Breakthrough of the Year award, and you had a bit of an issue with this category, didn't you, Lance?
Absolutely, yeah. I had a bone to pick with the organisers about this because it featured Bayer Leverkusen in there. What Xavi Alonso did with Bayer Leverkusen, I thought should have been Team of the Year. Maybe winning Team of the Year. Team of the Year is all about doing something special with the team. Xavi Alonso doesn't have the Real Madrid players at his disposal. Stopped Bayern Munich from their 11-year grip on the Bundesliga. Won Bundesliga without dropping a single game. Invincible. But it didn't go to him. It didn't go to Letsile Teboko either. Obviously winning Botswana's first gold. So a jam-packed category there. But who can have any complaints? It went to the youngster Lamine Yamal from Barcelona, winning the Euros while studying for his exams and doing his homework. Just a young teenager. He has such a bright future ahead of him. Comparisons naturally made with the Barcelona links with Lionel Messi, but it was him who picked up that award, and I'm sure that's not going to be the end of his awards, is it?
Well, we saw plenty of those big names on the red carpet, didn't we, Lance? I think my favourite interview, of course, has to be 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic. But how about you? Who do you go for?
I'm going to one-up you there, staying with the tennis team, and go for the great Rafa Nadal. What a gentleman, what a lovely bloke to speak with. And obviously, this year is all about Carlos Alcaraz, nominated for Sportsman of the Year, winning Wimbledon back-to-back, beating Novak Djokovic, who you spoke to. But of course, there's no touching the great Rafa Nadal, is there? Everyone's favourite, and just an all-round good bloke. And we chatted to him about how he's enjoying his retirement so far. Rafa, first of all, how's retirement? I see you playing a lot of paddle.
No, I played 2 times paddle. No, not a lot. Only 2 times since I retired. That are almost 6 months. So it's okay. But I am doing well with retirement. I'm enjoying life, doing different things. But yeah, not too much paddle.
And we're here on the red carpet. Obviously, your countryman nominated for the big one, Carlos Alcaraz, back-to-back Wimbledon titles. You obviously watch him with great joy, and you must be really proud of what he's achieved. And obviously, a lot of comparisons towards yourself, right?
Well, it's great to have a player like Carlos here in Spain. No, I think it's fantastic. Wish him very well, and yeah, he's doing great. Winning Monte Carlo now, playing the final in Barcelona, and yeah, I am sure that he will keep growing his career.
Over the past couple of years, you've seen some of your greatest rivals retire. How much do you miss those rivalries?
I do miss the rivalries, and I think part of me left with them, to be honest, when they retired, particularly, Nadal and Federer, but also Andy, of course, that is now my coach. So it doesn't feel like he left because he came back now, of course, in a different role. But as I said, part of me also left with them, and I was curious to understand how I will feel when they retire, and I didn't think that I will maybe lose that much motivation, but I did in some way. So I'm kind of reinventing myself and finding new ways to motivate, and I have motivation, of course, otherwise I wouldn't be still playing. I still love the drive of competition, and I love the sport. I love tennis, I love playing, and love obviously hopefully making people happy watching me play around the world. And it just this sport has given me so much, and me playing as long as I possibly can, in a way, it's returning the favor.
And that's a wrap from us here in Madrid. But don't worry, you'll be able to catch us next year at the Laureus Awards. Ruud, thank you so much for joining us on TRT World. You have so many Turkish fans, so I wanted to begin by reminiscing over your career. And one question I've always wondered is about your move to Chelsea. Of course, it's not the same club as it is now. So why did you make that move?
I was already 8 years in Italy, and I think that at that moment there was a time that I wanted to have a change in my life. I wanted to have a more quiet life, and I thought that London was the best place to do so. And of course, when I came to Chelsea in the beginning, I thought to myself, "Oh my God, did you see the stands here?" There was no stands. There were 2 stands were all destroyed. So therefore, I was like, "Okay." But then the life was for me a lot more pleasant at that time, because London was a big city. They were used to famous people there, so they didn't look at you so much. I could go to the cinema, I could go out, I could do the things that everybody wanted to do, because in Italy you're always in a training camp. You play on Sunday, Saturday in training camp. If you play middays for a European game, day before you are in training camp. So and then in England, I didn't need to go in training camp. You play on Saturday evening I could go out, restaurants, whatever, cinema, and then the Sunday I was off. That was the life that I wanted. So it was fantastic.
And talk to me about your time in Italy. You're such a huge legend there. What was it like back then?
I loved it. I owe a lot to Italy. Really, the language, the food, the cars, clothing. The people in Italy love beauty in life. And the language was beautiful. So I owe a lot to Italy. All my career, I owe it to the Italians. But there was also time to say, okay, now I want a little bit more going back, to what I used to just to have a different life.
Your old rival, Inter Milan, of course, will be facing Barcelona in the semi-final in the Champions League. And it really feels at the moment that this is a team that's not scared of anyone.
Because they are defensively very solid. They don't concede a lot of goals. That is a little bit of a different approach. When you see the other teams, they concede, but they score also a lot of goals. In Italy, they don't like that. They are more comfortable when they sit back. So but they still have good strikers. They have up front 2 good strikers. They have good wing backs, and also they have somebody in the midfield that bombs forward. So therefore, that is the danger for any team. So, but they confront a good team as well, who plays a very attacking way. So, could be tailor-made for them.
Of course, the other semi-final, PSG take on Arsenal, and Arsenal self-belief at the moment is just next level, right?
it's true. I think that these two teams play the same kind of system. Both do the same. I think attacking-wise, that Paris Saint-Germain is better. I think also midfield. Defensively, I don't know. What is the difference between the two teams is that if Paris Saint-Germain is going to go into an English game, they're going to lose. They need to keep the ball as much as possible. If you don't, if you lose the ball, then they get over you. So therefore, it's going to be interesting to see how they cope, both teams, because they're both very, very good. So physically, Arsenal better, but if you're playing wise, I think that Paris Saint-Germain is better. So therefore, it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be played who is boss of the midfield. That's where it all happens. So I think that is what Arsenal's going to do. They're going to try to boss them in midfield. They saw what happened with Aston Villa. Aston Villa bossed them also. And Paris Saint-Germain was playing an English game. You're not going to win an English game. So don't play it.
The World Cup on the horizon, the Netherlands, how do you think they'll fare?
The Dutch is doing well at the moment. I would not say that. They're not the favorites, but they are one of the favorites. Argentina still is there. Spain is still there. I would say England. No, because the English, when they play abroad, it's a different England than the way they play at home. A different England. Nevertheless, they played pretty well, European Championship. They came a little bit short in the final, but it's always a team that has the possibility. Playing wise, we're going to see some teams maybe who are going to improve. A World Cup is always fantastic, but the distances, that's my only, I don't like that so much. I had a wonderful World Cup in Qatar where I could see two games in one day and still go in my own bed. Now I have to travel so much. That's my only concern, travel. You are in Mexico, you are in America, and you are in Canada. So how far can you get it? So this is the only thing.
Well, unfortunately, Ruud, that's all we've got time for, but thank you so much for joining us on TRT World yet again.